Hey everyone, welcome back! As part of our new channel routine, around the middle of each month, I'm breaking down the most anticipated movies and series coming up next month. This video is focused solely on the hottest film dropping in October. Get excited and don't worry, the spotlight on series and miniseries will hit right after this in the very next video. Let's jump in. Hey folks, let's kick things off with Roofman, a wild true story flick that's got that perfect mix of crime, drama, and a dash of heart. Based on an unbelievable true story, Roofman follows Jeffrey Manchester, a former Army Ranger and a struggling father who turns to robbing McDonald's restaurants by cutting holes in their roofs, earning him the nickname Roofman. After escaping prison, he secretly lives inside a Toys R Us for 6 months, surviving undetected while planning his next move. But when he falls for Lee, a divorced mom drawn to his undeniable charm, his double life begins to unravel, setting off a compelling and suspenseful game of cat and mouse as his past closes in. Starring Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage, and Lakeith Stanfield. This one's directed by the talented Derek Cianfrance. Think the emotional depth of his past hits like Blue Valentine or The Place Beyond the Pines. It's backed by Powerhouse Studios, Paramount Pictures, and Miramax. It's theaters on October 10th, 2025.
Police believe the roof man may still be in the area.
What the? Oh my god!
Next up is The Smashing Machine, the intense biographical sports drama that packs raw emotion, brutal fights, and a deep dive into the human side of glory and downfall. Based on the true story of legendary MMA and UFC fighter Mark Kerr, nicknamed The Smashing Machine, for his relentless ground and pound style. The film follows his meteoric rise in the late 90s and early 2000s as a two-time UFC heavyweight champion and four-time ADCC World Champion, dominating brutal no-holds-barred matches in promotions like Pride FC. But it's not just about the octagon trumps, it explores Kerr's personal battles with chronic injuries, addiction to painkillers and substances that nearly destroyed his life, and the strain on his relationships, including his turbulent romance with Dawn Staples, as fame and pain push him to the brink, forcing a raw confrontation with vulnerability and redemption. It's a gritty, heartfelt look at the cost of being unbreakable, blending high stakes action with emotional depth that leave you inspired and reflective. Starring powerhouses like Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Ron Bader. This one's directed by the visionary Benny Safdie, known for the high-tension vibes of his solo debut after co-helming James like Uncut Gems and Good Time. It's brought to you by A24 and hits theaters on October 3rd, 2025.
On the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman.
Have you spoken to either about fighting such?
Alright, let's dive into Begonia, a hilariously unhinged sci-fi black comedy that's as wide as it's whip-smart, mixing conspiracy-fueled chaos with razor-sharp social commentary. The story follows two paranoid oddballs, Teddy, a tormented beekeeper, and his shy cousin Don, who are dead set that Michelle Fuller, a sleek pharmaceutical CEO, is an alien from the Andromeda Galaxy plotting to end humanity. In a frantic move to save the world, they kidnapped her and stashed her in their ramshackle cabin, subjecting her to bizarre tests and ritual as they race against a lunar eclipse they're convinced marks doomsday. As the wild terrorists collide with reality, the film peels back layers of corporate corruption, personal grudges, and the blurry line between insanity and insight, saving up dark laughs, war tweets, and a mind-bending take on today's anxieties that keep you guessing. It's a bold English language remake of the 2003 South Korean cult classic Save the Green Planet, starring big names like Emma Stone, Jessa Plemons, and Alicia Silverstone. It's directed by the one-of-a-kind Yorgos Lanthimos, whose surreal genius shone in Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness. Backed by Focus Features, this is a visual and narrative knockout. It kicks off with a limited release in select theaters on October 24th before going wide across cinemas on October 31st.
You too, Teddy.
It's fine, it's cool.
Get ready for Good Fortune, a delightfully chaotic comedy fantasy. The story centers on Gabriel, a well-meaning but bungling budget guardian angel who spots Arch, a down-on-his-luck gig worker scrapping by with odd jobs for his ultra-wealthy venture capitalist boss Jeff. When Arch hits absolute rock bottom, crashing out in a Denny's booth and losing his car to a tow, Gabriel steps in to prove that money isn't the answer, sweeping Arch's and Jeff's lives in a diving mix-up. But the plan hilariously backfires. Arch's woes vanish in Jeff's lavish world, costing Gabriel his wings and banishing him to Earth as a mortal. Now wingless and rooming with the displaced Jeff, Gabriel watches his angelic handiwork unravel in a whirlwind of cosmic consequences, mishaps, and unexpected bonds that force everyone to rethink fortune's true meaning. Starring icons like Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, Keke Palmer, and Sandra Oh. This marks the feature directorial debut of Aziz Ansari, known for his razor-sharp humor in Master of None and Parks and Recreation, bringing his signature blend of awkward charm and social insight to the big screen. Distributed by Lionsgate, and it premieres at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 6th before hitting wide theaters on October 17th.
Live in your car?
Yes, Jeff, I did. Why do you think an angel got involved? Because I had too many roommates? Why don't you go tough it out for a few days?
Black Phone 2, a chilling supernatural horror sequel that's cranking up the scares and diving deeper into the creepy world you loved in the first film. I know I was totally hooked on the original's eerie vibe. 4 years after Finney Blake escaped the clutches of the sinister grabber, he's now 15 and grappling with the scars of his past. Meanwhile, his sister Gwen, now 15, starts getting hunting calls in her dreams from that iconic black phone, along with distributing visions of 3 boars being stalked at the snowy winter camp called Alpine Lake. As the siblings dig into this new mystery, they uncover a dark connection between the grabber, now a vengeful Freddy Krueger-style demonic force streaking from beyond the grave, and their own family's history. It's a heart-pounding mix of psychological terror, supernatural chills, and emotional stakes as Finney and Gwen fight to end the grabber's reign of terror once and for all. Starring Ethan Hawke as the terrifying grabber, alongside Mason Thomas, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davis, and new face Damian Beecher. It's directed by Scott Derrickson, who nailed the first film's blend of heart and horror, and co-written with C. Robert Cargill, based on Joe Hill's gripping universe. Produced by Blumhouse and Universal Pictures, this one's set to be a must-see for horror fans. It hits theaters wide on October 17th.
Hello, Finney.
Let's dive into a Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere, a soulful drama that's all heart and grit, capturing a pivotal moment in music history. Set in 1982, the film follows a worn-out, introspective Bruce Springsteen as he holds up in a New Jersey studio, wrestling with personal demons and the weight of fame to curate his raw, haunting album Nebraska, stripped of his E Street Band's polish. It's just Bruce, a guitar, and a 4-track recorder, pouring out tales of broken dreams and working-class struggles, navigating self-doubt and a changing America. This is an intimate, emotional ride that shows the making of a masterpiece. Starring Jeremy Allen White, it's directed by Scott Cooper, known for gritty hits like Crazy Heart, and backed by 20th Century Studios. Enjoying a raw, authentic vibe, hits theaters October 3rd.
Bruce is a repairman. And what he's doing with this album.
After the Hunt, a gripping psychological thriller that's tense, provocative, and full of moral gray areas. exploring the fallout of accusations in the high-stakes world of academia with that signature blend of earnest and introspection. The story follows Alma Olsen, a respected Yale philosophy professor who's thrown into turmoil when her brilliant portage, a young student named Maggie Resnick, levels a serious accusation of assault against Alma's close colleague and friend, Hank Gibson. As the campus scandal erupts, Alma navigates loyalty, institutional politics, and generational clashes, all while a dark, long-beard secret from her own past bubbles to the surface, forcing her to confront uncomfortable truth about consent, power dynamics, and the stories we tell ourselves. Starring Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield, this one's directed by the masterful Luca Guadagnino, fresh from sensual trumps like Call Me By Your Name, Challengers, and Queer, infusing his trademark stylistic flair and emotional depth into his character-driven drama. Backed by Amazon MGM Studios, it's a polished production with a score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross that's set to deliver award buzz. It hits limited theaters in select cities on October 10th before expanding wide on October 17th.
I've done too much to get here to let it all just be taken away.
Nothing I would have done could have changed what's happened.
You don't know that! You don't know that!
Kiss of the Spider-Woman, a vibrant musical drama that's equal parts poignant prison tale and dazzling Hollywood fantasy. Set against the backdrop of 1980s Argentina under a brutal dictatorship, the story unfolds in a grim cell where political prisoner Valentin, a fiery revolutionary fighting the regime, shares a space with Molina, a flamboyant window dresser jailed for public indecency due to his sexuality, as torture and isolation threaten to break them. An unlikely friendship blooms when Molina regales Valentin with vivid retellings of his favorite B-movie musical starring the glamorous diva Ingrid Luna, transforming the break reality into a technicolor escape. But as the line between fantasy and reality blurs, themes of love, identity, survival, and the power of stories emerge, culminating in a seductive, spider web-like narrative that weaves heartbreak, desire, and defiance into a tapestry of queer resilience and human connection. It's a fresh take on the Tony-winning Broadway hit, infused with high-energy dance numbers and heartfelt ballads that tug at your heartstrings while leaving you humming. Starring Jennifer Lopez, Diego Luna, and Tonatiuh, this one's directed by Bill Condon, known for his musical mastery in Dreamgirls and Beauty and the Beast, bringing his flair for grand spectacle and intimate drama to his adaptation of Manuel Puig's iconic novel and the Candor Ebb stage show. Backed by lock artist Equality, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, it hits theaters on October 10th. Oh man, buckle up for Mortal Kombat 2, the explosive sequel that's ramping up the brutal high-stakes action and diving headfirst into the iconic tournament that defines the franchise. It's everything fans have been craving since the first film's killer setup. Picking up after the events of the 2021 reboot, the story throws Earthrealm's ragtag champions into the heart of the legendary Mortal Kombat tournament, where they've got one shot to break Outward's 9-win streak and prevent total invasion, lose, and Shao Kahn's tyrannical empire claims Earth for good. Leading the charge is Cool Gang, the reluctant hero discovering his full potential alongside Liu Kang's fiery leadership, Sonya Blade's technical grit, and Jax's powerhouse strength as they face off against Outward's savage forces in a no-holds-barred gauntlet of battles. But the real game changer is the arrival of cocky Hollywood star Johnny Cage, dragged into the fray and forced to trade his ego for survival. While ancient rivals in Ignite, like Scorpion's vengeful return and Sub-Zero's dark transformation into the shadowy noob Cybot. unleashing supernatural tweets, betrayals from sorcerers like Shan Tsung and Quan Chi, and epic clashes involving new threats like the Bladed Barca and the royal intrigue of Kitna and her mother Queen Sindel. Directed by the visionary Simon McQuaid, who nailed the raw intensity of the original with his debut, this sequel promises to maximize everything, from larger-scale spectacles and unpredictable twists to game-accurate fatalities that crank the R-rated violence to 11. Starring returning powerhouses like Louis Ten, Lodi Lin, Jessica Magnami, Mekat Brooks, Hiroika Sanada, Tabanobu Asano, Joe Taslim, and Chin Han, plus fresh blood including Carl Urban as the charismatic Johnny Cage, Adeline Rodolph as the fierce Kitana, Tati Gabriel as the Laurel Jade, Martin Ford as the menacing Shao Kahn, and C.G. Bonfield as the savage Baraka. It's a stacked symbol ready to deliver unforgettable showdowns. Backed by New Line Cinema, Warner Bros. Pictures, and the powerhouse production team include James Wan and Todd Garner, the same crew behind the first film's global success. This is primed to be cinematic knockout with stunning VFX, pulse-pounding choreography, and nods to the games that thrill longtime players and newcomers alike. Originally set for October 24th, 2025, it's now hitting theaters on May 15th, 2026 to demonic the summer box office.
Traps. Mortal Kombat? Let's roll.
Oh, mate, I like this guy!
Enemies, a deeply moving family drama set in the rugged landscapes of northern England in the late 1980s. The story follows a middle-aged man named James Tucker who leaves his suburban life behind for a tense journey into the woods to reconnect with his estranged hermit brother Ray, a reclusive figure haunted by their shared history as former British paramilitaries in Northern Ireland 2 decades earlier. Bounded by a mysterious and complicated past marked by shattering events, including the traumas of war that turned him into phantom soldiers. The brothers navigate a fraught relationship that's equal parts tender and volatile. As family secret surface and generational conflicts ignite, the film charts a poignant path towards forgiveness and healing against all odds. Blending subtle character moments, it's an absorbing, awards-worthy tale that resonated long after the screen fades, especially with its powerhouse performances driving home the human cost of unresolved pain. Starring legend like Daniel Day-Lewis in his triumphant return to acting after an 8-year hiatus, alongside Sean Bean and Samantha Morton. This marks the feature directorial debut of Roman Day-Lewis, co-written with his father Daniel, bringing a fresh personal vision infused with artistic depth from his background as a painter. Backed by Focus Feature in collaboration with Brad Pitt's Plan B Entertainment, it's a visual striking production with cinematography by Ben Fortsman that amplifies the moody, expressive atmosphere. It premieres on October 10th.
You're going to hell, brother.
If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, a raw, intense, dark comedy drama. The story follows Linda, a psychotherapist whose life is crumbling under the weight of her daughter's mysterious illness, an absent husband, a missing patient, and a toxic relationship with her own therapist. As her world spirals, symbolized by a literal hole in her apartment ceiling, Linda's descent into exhaustion, addiction, and resentment paints a stark, unflinching portrait of motherhood's darker side, blending biting humor with a nerve-wracking tension that leave you breathless and thinking. Starring Rose Byrne alongside Conan O'Brien, Asaf Rocky, and Daniel MacDonald. It's written and directed by Mary Bronstein, known for her role in their debut, Rest, and backed by A24 with a standout cinematography by Christopher Messina. Hits theaters on October 10th.
Plane fell down and we're living out of the hotel.
Yes on these, but no on the wine.
But it isn't even 2.
It's 1:58.
Tron Ares, a bold new chapter in the iconic Tron universe. The story follows Ares, a highly advanced program sent from the digital world of the grid into our reality on a dangerous mission, marking humankind's first encounter with AR beings. As corporation battle to control the grid's digital life forms, Ares, originally a villain in earlier scripts, evolves into a complex lead, navigating a high-stakes clash between worlds that packs with dozing large circle chases, neon-soaked battles, and existential questions about technology's role in our future. It's a standalone sequel to Tron Legacy, delivering that signature cyberpunk vibe with a grittier edge. Thanks to a killer score by 9 Inch Nails, starring heavyweights like Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Gillian Anderson, and Jeff Bridges, reprising his role as Kevin Flynn. It's directed by Joaquin Ronning, known for epic blockbusters like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and backed by Walt Disney Pictures, ensuring a visual spectacle that pops in IMAX. Hits theaters on October 10th.
Fast, supremely intelligent, and if he is struck down on the battlefield.
Alright guys, that's a wrap on the most anticipated movies hitting theaters in October 2025. I hope you enjoyed this rundown and are as pumped as I am for these epic films. If you love this video, give it a big thumb up and hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with which movie you are most excited for. Let's get the convo going. Don't forget our next video is dropping soon, diving into the hottest series and mini-series coming your way in October. So stay tuned for more must-watches goodness. Catch you in the next one.